doing the best for others consistent basis. It's pretty simple. Now, if you want to join in on the conversation, you can do so on the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. It's all there. If you want to follow us on the, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter Live. It's all out there. You can see what's going on in the studio. It's a deeper connection. This is one of those hours where you don't just listen. I want you to engage, and I want you to actually part of it. I want you to actually get into the feels, and I want you to think of yourselves that we are actually talking to you, because you are required. You are required. We need you in this space. We need you to step up. This first segment has a special partner, and we want to announce that. And I will allow our co-host tonight. I've got to call her co-host tonight.
You know what? Growing up, EP, I was always like, I would love to be on the radio. I've got a face for radio. This is perfect. And so, like, kind of getting a glimpse of hosting my own show, I'm kind of geeking out right now. This is pretty cool.
This is one of those moments, right?
Yes.
And I tell people all the time, everybody wants to do this. Everybody thinks they can do this until the light comes on. And then separation happens.
Yeah.
Would you please introduce Angie?
Absolutely. So first of all, I'm Audrey. I work with our local Lincoln teammates. I'm a match support specialist. And I have a very special guest. She is my former coworker, but is now with our national office teammates, Angie Dostal.
Angie, please say hello and let us know, how long have you been with teammates?
Hello. I've been with teammates for almost 14 years. So I started with the Lincoln chapter, and it was a part-time gig that quickly turned into a full-time love, passion, just the greatest career that I could have ever imagined at this point.
There were specifics to the first segment, and I wanted to be clear, because to really get in depth into this thing, full disclosure, this first segment, there's a partner involved, and we want to be clear that the partner, I mean, this is a partnership. And so, Audrey, if you would, let them know about Gallup and what they do and help you do and how they help you do this.
Yes, absolutely. So we are really excited tonight, this first segment, to talk about Gallup Strengths. We have a strong partnership in teammates with Strengths. It's actually one of our core values is to be strengths-based. We see such tremendous impacts from that we'll talk about. Angie and I both actually used to tag team doing strengths trainings and spreading the strengths love. And so we just thought it'd be really important, even if you are a parent out there with your own children, the benefits that Gallup Strengths can provide. And so we wanted to be sure to mention that we have a partnership with them. And it is a survey that we say survey because no kid wants to take a test or assessment that they don't have to. So we call it our super fun survey. And you are able to take that. There is a young version for like 3rd through 8th grade. And then there is an older version for those that are in high school and adults. And you do pay to take the survey, which is why we're talking about our partnership. You do pay to take the survey. One of the cool things in teammates, though, is if you are a mentor and you are matched with a mentee, we actually provide codes to expand that strengths knowledge with you and point out your unique, awesome selves.
Through that, some real work has to be done before in determining, one, who needs this information, the value of the information. With the young people, what does this do? What does this test allow young people to know about themselves? And is this for the child or is it for the parent to know who they're kind of dealing with and loving?
This is information that everybody should have about this young person, themselves especially, the mentor who can help expand on their strengths and point out times that they are living in their strengths. Parent information too, of course, great for them to know. And it also just gives a common language that I have very high communication. So right now I want to tell you the story really of how Gallup started that partnership with Coach Osborne, but I'm going to get back to that.
Okay.
That'll be the next question.
Okay.
So everyone should know and have this information about themselves.
What did you find out about you?
I found out about me that 5 of my top 10 strengths are in relationship building, which is probably one of the reasons that I really like my job, because we're all about relationships. I also found out that I have strategic thinking, which was one of those strengths that I geeked out on. I'm like, oh, people that are strategic, they're so smart, they have such great ideas. And then I got to learn that I have that as one of my strengths
I
too.
am one. I'm a superhero. This is awesome.
I'm a strengths geek, like
Yes.
everyone else.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that you brought, sorry to interrupt you, Ange. I think it's funny you brought up that I'm a superhero, because that's what strengths make you feel like. And I don't know how often, I mean, when I was a kid, I had great parents growing up, right? And we talked about strengths sometimes, but it wasn't a huge topic of conversation. So if you have someone coming in each week as a mentor to point those things out, you feel like a superhero. And it's pretty phenomenal to know those things about yourself, to see what people see in you.
Well, so on the mentoring side, a part of it, I had to put together a TED presentation, and it ended up being about superheroes, and the difference being that superheroes they're greater at acting from love than the other. And the other side of it was that you wouldn't ask Aquaman to do Superman stuff. You need to know what that person is specifically talented in, and then let them excel in it. And through this, it appears that it helps everybody identify, one, what they're good at. So sometimes that critique of ourselves can be pretty difficult. But in the mentoring space, when you sit across from somebody or next to somebody, how important is it to know what moves them and what they're good at? How important is that?
I had a mentee that was in high school, and she just recently graduated, and she's an amazing young woman. And one of her strengths is a restorative strength. So that's a problem solving, figuring things out kind of strength. And she lived that every day, and she still does. She's just so good at that. She can take a situation and she might want to talk about it with me, but ultimately she has a way she's going to figure it out. So I love that about her. I see those strengths in action with her. And when she's maybe not having a good day, it's a great way for me to say, you're using your restorative and your empathy and your kindness to other people. So you're doing a great job.
Andre, what did you find out about yourself? What did you find out?
Oh my goodness, that's such a good question. I didn't realize how, I'm going to say this in a weird way, I'm kind of a freak. Like when I get things to do in front of me, I am an achiever. Like I want to get it done. I want it to be the best it can be. And growing up, I always used that negative label on myself of perfectionist. Like nothing's ever good until it's perfect in my eyes. And you sometimes get flack for that. Like, okay, just move along, keep going. And it's because of my achiever and, you know, my strengths of wanting to make everything great that I just feel pride in myself now. And that's not a talent that everyone has. It's something that I have, and that makes me unique. It makes me a superhero.
What talent do you have that you're surprised about?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, I don't know the answer to that.
Right, because so the test is set up to identify 5 great things, your 5 greatest things. And it doesn't mean you're limited to 5, but it tells you what the 5.
Right.
How did you land on this test? And Andrew was getting ready to tell the story.
Yeah.
How does the connection between Gallup and teammates happen?
So back in the 60s at Hastings College, a young Tom Osborne, not yet coach, not yet leader of what we know him to be a leader of, teammates especially, was in grad school with Don Clifton. And at that time, there was a lot of abnormal psychology focus. Let's focus what's wrong with people. Like, why are people like this? What's going on with them? And Don Clifton said, what if we went the other way? What if we said, let's find out what's good and right and strong with people? And that was kind of the birth time of the thought of having a Superfund survey. So they did lots and lots and lots of research and asked lots and lots of questions, and then narrowed it down to those 34 themes that are what we have today in that Superfund survey.
So 5 of 34 are highlighted. And then how do you get young people who tend to work from fear of assessment to engage the assessment. How does that work?
Yeah, well, first off, we call it a survey
Yeah,
for
right.
that reason.
Right. Right.
This fall, actually, Lincoln Teammates, we went out to all of the middle schools and did surveys with 60 of our mentees at the middle schools. And they took the survey and they got to talk with their mentors about, do you see this in me? I see it in myself this way. And then they got to go on the process of name, claim, aim, which is like my favorite thing about strengths. You name your strengths when you take your survey. These are my top 3. These are my top 5. And then you claim them. What does this look like for me? Because a strength that Angie has is not going to look the same as it does for me because we're so unique. We're 1 in 33 million DP, which means no one else, you're 1 in 33 million chance that you're going to have the same top 5 in the same order as someone else in the world. So 1 in 33 million, that's how unique you are. And so when you can go through that process of claiming, like, these are my strengths, I do see them in me, this makes me awesome. And then you can aim them. What does it look like in the future? These top 5 strengths are the things that give me the most energy, the things that I really should focus on in the future for career, for reaching my goals, how to go over those speed bumps when they come up. And just that excitement of students building that hope when they can see how their strengths are going to help them later on in life.
I love the idea and the premise that we're going to focus on your strengths rather than your weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
Because whether it's academically, athletically, in a career, the negatives generally determine your place, your location and elevation. Like, people will go, well, you know, they're really good, they're a tough worker, but I think they've kind of capped out. How does it work to match a mentor and a mentee with strengths? Does that ever happen? Specific strengths to strengths. Do you want somebody who's got all of Angie's skills? Does she need to mentor somebody like her, or is it more about them?
That's a good question. I don't think we've ever matched on strengths before. I think it's more about the conversation that a mentor and mentee can have.
Okay.
We always say, you know, it's not about the mentor in those meetings. You're kind of focused on your mentee. But in terms of strengths, it's great for a mentor to realize what their strengths are. They get a lot of claiming and aiming when they're going out to meet with their mentees. They learn a lot about themselves. And I think that's a great thing. I think you can see yourself in, you know, when you go out to mentor and building on your strengths. And so it's more about learning the individual rather than, I guess, I don't know. We've never done the matching on strengths before. It's more about personality and common interests and things. But that's one of the things we love about offering strengths to matches is we're giving the tools to mentors to help their mentee know what their strengths are and claim them and aim them for later in life.
Well, I could imagine, you know, superpowers realizing, hey, look, we got this, we got it covered. From the text line, so they used to work at Gallup. Great people. Cool to see that the data I was collecting actually goes to good use.
Yeah.
And it's reaching. So tell me who Gallup is in full. Like, what's their mission? It was the whole point of this thing to create a focus, a redirect about the way we think about strengths, or was it to just cheapen that weaknesses can't be the focus for how we deal with one another?
I would say that it was about just helping people discover the things that are good about them.
Okay.
And then it built into a conglomerate of, we're working with businesses, helping employees that work together know their strengths and figure out that there are 4 domains in strengths. So you have the executing, the relationship building, the influencing, and the executing. So, you know, when you have a good team, you have people from all 4 of those domains. And so Gallup is in the education business. They work with schools. They do Gallup Student Poll, which is a hope indicator and how excited kids are about the future, which ties in again so well with teammates. So Gallup is an international corporation at this point. Omaha, Nebraska is the headquarters and still there.
For grown-ups that are out that are considering being a mentor, who may be standing on one side of the bridge going, well, this survey may tell me some stuff I don't want to know. What's in the survey? For those who have taken it and gone through it, what can you tell a person that may have a little fear or acquiescence against taking this survey?
you should not be afraid to take it at all. It was really cool last summer, 2 summers ago. I don't know. Time escapes me. But I actually had my parents do the strength survey so I could learn even more about them. And I had them look at my strengths and talk to me about what it looked like when I was fourth grade Audrey. Did I still have a lot of those tendencies? And it's true, I did. And so getting that feedback from them and me being able to learn a little bit more about them and what makes them tick and kind of how we all work together is the coolest thing. It's just the coolest thing to learn strengths and to be able to point out that common language in someone. It's very rewarding.
One of my chapters that's in Adams, Nebraska, the school, it's Freeman School, they are actually a strengths-based school. So all their students know their strengths. And then they are also a great mentoring program as well. And so they have their mentors take their strengths also. And so it just adds such a positive environment when teachers are always able to point out what a student is doing right, or, oh, when they're really engaged in something, that's something that they're excited about, and they can see those things. So such a great example of how it's utilized just in an entire setting, I think, and the impact that it has on teachers and students and from their top down, from their superintendent, who's also a mentor. So the buy-in can make such a huge impact for everyone involved in that system.
And
Go ahead.
I think it's important also to note that the 34 strengths, we all have them in us. So just because you take the survey and you find out what
You have no strengths.
Right. Right. You're not going to get that answer.
That's not going to happen.
Right. So you have all 34 in you. So number 34 comes up.
Who are you, DP?
I figured out long ago, look, my strength is my smile. That's all I got. Other than that, I got to work from that. That is it. Like they're simple. But I know that people, as they evaluate, I'm a coach, and day one, the easiest thing for me to identify is the most talented person in the room. I'm really good at assessing talent, and then I'm a better coach than most because I identify what the least talented person in the room does well, because that resets the standard for what's accepted and what isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And in that space, I'm wondering, why wouldn't schools bring this program into their space so that everybody is fed from their greatness rather than their weakness? Like, that's a simple thing. Yeah. Like, that's the program that's accepted that is working ahead of everybody else.
And Teammates is working to help at least more students in our little way be able to discover their strengths and lead with those and talk about those things. There's a quote that Angie always used in presentations that I've continued to steal, but and help me out if I get this wrong. It's by Mr. Albert Einstein, that if you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's so many standardized tests and things in our schools, and someone might not be good at math. They might not be great at science yet, but they're a really great artist. So we need to be making the effort to point out how they're great at art, or maybe they're really great at skateboarding. Point out how they're great at skateboarding. Maybe that's something they can do in the future. They can capitalize on things that they're really great at. And it's the same with those strengths. When you know your top 5, when you know your top 3, let's think about all those things that are right with you and not all the things that you've been told before that you're not good at or you're not good enough for. Because there's things out there that you are. What are those things?
Audrey and I have
let's get them to it. I would
very different strengths.
This is only the people on the stream can see this, but this is my surprised face.
What?
Not surprised that you have different strengths.
Like,
we have very different strengths.
2 superheroes together rarely have the same strength. That's just
like that.
Batman and Robin never have the same. It just
That's
never works
true.
that way. It never works that way.
Because they're what? Complementary partners,
That's
right?
the thing. And that's it. So we'll go to break. When we come back, and they just did the superpowers clap. It's a thing you can't even practice. When we come back to Teammates Mentoring Hour, we'll go to why is this important and some of the stories of strength and people finding out those strengths and working from those strengths and even highlighting those strengths. More Teammates Mentoring Hour coming up.
Don't go anywhere. More of the Teammates Mentoring Hour is minutes away on 93.7 The Ticket and theticket.com.
Ever think of having a career in plumbing or heating? Do you enjoy watching your favorite game in a nice, comfortable space? Taking a shower after a warm day? Well, everyone we serve at Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air sure does. If you're interested in a career in plumbing, heating, and air, come join our team. You'll get paid while training. No experience required. Enjoy great pay and benefits in a friendly environment. Call Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air at 402-466-8118 or apply online at biggerstaffs.com.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go. Okay, wise guy.
Settle that.
Book your appointment today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
Nate Rohr, the voice of Husker softball.
This program's just in a different place than it was last year. You think about the years prior, Nebraska hadn't been to regionals in a few years. They hadn't had a plus 500 record. This program needed to relearn how to win. So, yeah, this program's in a very different place right now than where it was, even 11 months ago, let alone 12.
Weekdays from 1 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Flowers and chocolates are great for Valentine's Day, but you know what really earns you bonus points? A massage. No, not from you, but from the professionals at The Body Shop. Now is the time to purchase a gift certificate for your significant other to make sure you're the big winner this Valentine's Day. Go to thebodyshoplincoln.com and select from their variety of specific massages. Once you've purchased, you can either print out the certificate or email it to the lucky recipient. Do Valentine's Day right this year with a massage from The Body Shop at 48th and A.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Hey there.
Hi, honey.
Uh-oh.
Remember we told Jamie and Mike about Liberty First Credit Union, how great their checking account and car loans are, the amazing service we get, and how we love being members?
Yeah.
Well, they took our advice. Jamie said how easy it was to move all their accounts and become members. Now they say they're banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union.
Learn more about being a member at libertyfirstcu.com. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Member NCUA.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. We encourage those who go out to make smart decisions behind the wheel or plan accordingly to have someone lined up for a safe ride home. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here. Quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
Gentlemen, Valentine's Day is just honor. Don't be that guy running to the store for flowers and a card on your way home. Hey, Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. We have great Valentine's gifts in store now. And if you spend $99, we'll throw in a free bouquet of a dozen roses. Give her what she really wants this year and let us do the rest. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, your hometown jeweler since 1905 in Lincoln and Grand Island. Online at sartorheyman.com.
A new year means new goals and upgrading, but that doesn't only apply to health and fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Lake.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again, and with me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to have earned this award, and I want all of our customers to know it's not just earned by one person's efforts. It's the entire dealership, sales, parts, and our amazing service department.
17 times. Wow. How does that compare to other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really do strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 2022, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yanko Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Is the Teammates Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, Teammates Mentoring Hour on a Wednesday. And again, thank you for hanging out with us. Again, the Starter Heyman text line, if you want to be a part of the conversation or you have something to add, please feel free, 402-464-5685. You can follow on the live video stream as well, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter Live. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, especially tonight, brought to you by the folks from Gallup. Again, its strengths survey is purposeful. Now, it's purposeful for the mission of setting mentors and mentees in the same space for greatness. All about the greatness, all about the strengths, the things that people are good at, when highlighted, are multiplied. That's how this works. And I don't care what your profession is. I don't care what type of family you're raising. I don't care what kind of relationship you're in. When you highlight the greatness and the strengths, you get more from it. That's what this is all about. We've asked, and Audrey and Angie are here. I want to talk about some of the stories when it shows that this program works, whether it's for a mentor or mentee. I'll let you decide which angle you want to take. But when greatness shows up, you know that you're right. What are those moments in Teammates Mentoring?
Well, I'll share. I know Angie earlier shared about her mentee, so I'll share about mine. She and I have been matched since 7th grade. She's now a junior. And she and I, in about 9th grade, really started picking up chess. I'm not great at chess yet. I practiced, but it's not my game. But she loved it, and she played it all the time at home, so she wanted to play it with me. And I think secretly it's because she knew she was going to beat me. So, it is what it is. But she definitely did beat me. And so as she's playing, the reason she was so good that I was picking up on was the fact that she was like 3 or 4 moves ahead of me. In her mind, she had already planned out, well, if Audrey moves here, I'm going to move here, and then I can move here, and then I can take this pawn or whatever it was and this piece. And I noticed that about her, and I watched it in her every time we played chess. And so one day I was like, you got a really strategic mind. Like, you're always thinking a few steps ahead. And this was before she had done Gallup. That's the thing, is you don't even need to necessarily take Gallup to be able to point out strengths. You just need to be intentional, pointing out things that you see someone is doing well. So I wanted to make that plug. But so I just noticed that in her, and I said, you're very strategic. You think 3 or 4 moves ahead. This is going to serve you so well in life. I just think it's brilliant. You're really great at chess because of this. And we talked about strategic a few times after that. And I'll never forget last year, she came running up to me and was like, I'm doing really well in math because I've been using my strategic skills. And I was just amazed. Like, the fact that she remembered that about herself, could point that out in herself, and really have something to be proud of and feel successful about, was the coolest thing. It just, like, it brought me to tears, but I'm a very emotional person.
That's also a strength.
Yes. Yeah. To just see her own that, and to see how special she is because she has that strength. That's not a strength that I have. That's not something that comes easily to me. And so to see her do that, she's going to be able to do so many things that I maybe couldn't without a little extra effort, that just comes so naturally to her. And it was one of my favorite strength stories.
Angie, what's the story that comes to mind?
My very first mentee, she took the Superfund survey, and it came out as caring with her top 3. And she was very sweet, very talkative all the time, just super positive. And I always saw that in her. She was always help caregiver with her siblings at home. She just had the biggest heart. She was so kind to everyone. She did like to talk a lot, but then she'd always go, "Oh my gosh, tell me about you. How are you?" Like she always, but she just had the biggest heart, and she still does. So she's a young 24-year-old woman, almost 24. And she's sweet, but she's tough too. So, she's got the heart.
When these conversations, when these moments happen, because it's the moment that's transitional, like there's that fork in the road where you meet and you go, okay, you now know something about yourself that you may not have been aware of. Then there's the matter of turning that moment into a directional shift, accountability, making these strengths a part of what they use, even if it's something they don't want to. When you have discussions between mentors and mentees, how often does those 5 strength words come up? How often is it a part of your engagement?
It depends how intentional you are with it. I mean, you have to make the effort to bring it up, to remember to talk about it. That's part of that claiming and aiming journey. If you don't talk about it, if you don't relate it to your life, you're not going to know how to use those strengths in the future. The biggest thing for me is the fact that strengths build hope. And if a student and a child and even a grown adult, if they have hope about their future, hope about themselves, that's already doing 10 times what it would if they didn't have that hope in terms of planning for the future and setting goals. And so I think that's the biggest step is building that hope. And then having those conversations about, okay, these are things that you do really well, things that come naturally to you, things that give you energy, things that like you don't go home at the end of the day exhausted because these are things that are just so natural to you. How do we turn that into something that's going to be an enjoyable career the rest of your life? So it's just intentionally asking those questions and talking about it in terms of what's happening at school that week, what's happening at home that week.
It's never draining. That's not what a strength does. Right? Is that a fair statement? That the things that you're good at, things that you're pre-wired in your DNA to be magically gifted in, should never drain you, right? Because you're being used. Right. They're being used. How often in this space do you want to go, I need to be retested? Does anybody go, nope, this isn't me? Like, this isn't me.
Yes, actually, we do have people that say that.
Right?
They're like,
this
doesn't
isn't me.
Describe me. This doesn't describe me. And Gallup does a really cool thing that once you've taken your survey, you get what's called an insight guide. Mm-hmm. And so if you read a strength just for the 2-sentence definition that it has, you might be like, yeah, I don't know if that's really me. I don't really see that. But when you read your insight guide, it tells you what that strength is blended with the other top 4 strengths you have. Sometimes it puts a little twist on it. And as you read it, you go, oh yeah, that might be me. But even if you still don't necessarily see it in you, give that insight guide report to someone you know, loved one, teacher, spouse, whatever, and have them point out things that they see in you, because I guarantee you they're going to open your eyes for things that you might not have even seen about yourself.
Have you guys figured out that sometimes people listen to other people more than they listen to themselves?
Oh, yeah.
Like that voice in your head that says, you know what? I'm not good at this. And somebody's going, yes, you are. That, to me, ultimately, that's mentoring and coaching and educating. Mm-hmm. It's getting people across the line.
And we always talk about growth mindset too in teammates. Like, you might have a mentee that says, I am not good at math. It's like, you know what? You might not be good at math yet, but you're going to work at it and you can learn it. So that kind of persistence, those are things too that I think are, having that mentoring, that coach mentality of, giving the language, giving the confidence, giving them the ability to say, all right, I'm going to try again, or keep pushing myself. So that resiliency, all kinds of skills are shared and given to young people because of mentors who just show up and focus on what's good and right with them, whether or not they have the language. If you have it, it kind of gives a little more meat to it, I think. But you can be a great mentor just by showing up, being a coach, being a good listener, because we talked about, when a mentor goes, it's not about them. So, you show up and do what they want to do and put a smile on your face.
And we know it's proven. Actually, Gallup did the research for us that when a mentor shows up, when a person shows up in your life and they point out what's great and strong and all those things that are so right about you, that's going to increase that hope that we talked about. That hope is so powerful. Everyone can always build hope. And then that also turns, in terms of teammates, it turns into better academic performance. So mentors are not coming in to teach 5th grade math. They're not experts at 9th grade biology. Lord knows I'm not. But I come in, I point out strengths, and my mentee has better academic engagement. She's at school more. She gets better grades than maybe if I wasn't there. And what's the last one? Oh, and then less discipline referrals. They're in the classroom more. They're engaged in school, all because you have someone coming in and pointing out what's so great and right about you.
Isn't that the purposeful raising of the bar? That expectation, because it's been shown through studies at every level and in every social economic chamber that exists, that the greater the expectation, the greater the performance. Like if you don't give somebody a list of 5, one strength, people could remove that. But if you tell any human that there are 5 exceptional things about them, they then work from, okay, I'm no longer at the bottom of any pyramid. Less is not expected. I would think that there's great empowerment going on in these strengths and the packages. I know the survey is a word that people will circle, but this is empowerment.
When you work from a lens of, yes, what you're doing right and what you're doing well, it changes the dynamic of a relationship. It changes the dynamic of how you feel about yourself. It's not about perfection, but it's about working hard enough to kind of maximize those results. So when you know what you're good at and things that just come naturally that you don't even think about.
And it's because of all these things, kind of to circle it back to teammates, it's because all of these things that we know every child could benefit from having a mentor. Across socioeconomic status, across gender, across race, across interest levels, 2-parent, 1-parent family, whatever it might be, every child could benefit from a mentor because every person could. I totally benefit from having a mentor. I consider Angie one of my mentors, and the things that she's taught me, the things that helped me to grow is so powerful. And so we have so many kids that want that mentor, that are reaching out to have that person pointing out their strengths and building hope in them. And we don't have enough mentors to fill the need. And so that's one of the reasons we come on the ticket. That's one of the reasons that Angie and I work as hard as we do, is because we want to get those mentors for those youth that are reaching out and saying, I know I can do great things in the future. I want a mentor to help me to realize those things, to help me get into college, to help me realize my strengths. And it's so powerful. And we need more. We need more mentors.
We'll go to break here. 3 things to ponder over the break, and then we'll get to them when we come back and close out the Teammates Mentoring Hour. 1, to ask the question, how do folks take the survey, the value of that? 2, the policy and the procedure protocol, finding out this information, whether folks want it shared, because it's there. And then finally, I'll ask this, maybe is there a way to find out what maybe the greatest Nebraskan ever, what his strengths are? I'll ask you, maybe we can figure out what Coach Osborne's 5 greatest strengths are. I know every Husker fan I know would love to know that. We'll close out Teammates Mentoring Hour when we come back.
Don't go anywhere. More of the Teammates Mentoring Hour is minutes away on 93.7 The Ticket and the Car.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour, with options to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In alumni news, Lincoln North Stars former distance runner Geraldine Poe has qualified for the U.S. Olympic Team Trials Marathon. Switching to girls basketball on Monday, January 6th, College View beat Boys Town 35-18. Lincoln Lutheran put on an impressive defensive performance, beating Ralston 50-9. For boys basketball on Monday, Parkview Christian dominated in their win over Christian Iowa 89-45. Terrence Scott and Braylon Morris would lead Parkview with 20 points. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to get the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course. Oh, God. Ow.
Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
What grade would you give Coach Rule up until this point? I got to give him an A. Based on what we saw to take us in the top 25 class, he got Malachi Coleman. I think we addressed special teams. We addressed receivers. I thought the tight end room got stronger. I give him an A because of what he's done in the community. He's not a guy that will turn his nose up to someone coming up to him. I like that. And he says all the right stuff. I think he knows that if he says something that he's got to follow through as much as he can.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, wanting to say Happy New Year and thank you to all of you for your continued support. We have just closed out another outstanding year, and we want to start 2023 off with the bang. The new GMC and Chevrolet inventory continues to roll in, and I'll actually be picking up my 2023 GMC later this month. So with interest rates continuing to climb, Cobble is partnering with General Motors and now offering 2.9% APR on select models. So we invite you to the dealership. Check us out online at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Flowers and chocolates are great for Valentine's Day, but you know what really earns you bonus points? A massage. No, not from you, but from the professionals at the Body Shop. Now is the time to purchase a gift certificate for your significant other to make sure you're the big winner this Valentine's Day. Go to thebodyshoplincoln.com and select from their variety of specific massages. Once you've purchased, you can either print out the certificate or email it to the lucky recipient. Do Valentine's Day right this year with a massage from the Body Shop at 48th and A. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Stop asking your friends if they're hosting a party this Sunday and come for the real party instead. In 93.7 The Ticket for the big game at Wings and Rings at 8th and O this Sunday and walk away with great prizes just for showing up. Why worry about making a great spread of food for the game house when you can enjoy all the great wings and more at Wings and Rings? It's the big game party with 93.7 The Ticket at Wings and Rings this Sunday at 68th and O.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Sunny skies, mild temps once again for our Wednesday with a high of around 52 this afternoon. Southwest winds at around 10. Increasing cloud cover tonight with a low of 31. A high of only 40 tomorrow. A chance of a rain-snow mix in the afternoon. And northwest winds eventually gusting over I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Teammates Mentoring Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Audrey Watson and Andy Dasso have taken us through an hour of Teammates Mentoring Hour and providing information on this. And again, if you're in this space listening, or if you're catching it on the podcast, or you're catching a snip that we're going to share later and you want to run to it, there are ways for you to get this information. There's a way to get the information. Also, we need to get you off the couch, out of your car, and onto the Teammates Mentoring, the Teammates Lincoln website, so that you can make yourself look. It's going to help you live a better life, a better life. It's going to help your family. It's going to help your community. It's going to help your school. It's going to help your space, right? So I'm going to ask Audrey first, let people know how to reach you and how to get this information.
Absolutely. The best place to go is the Teammates website, the lincolnteammates.org. It has the application on there. It has training links on there, lots of support resources, everything you wanted to know about Teammates right on there. That is a great place to go. If you're not as tech savvy, you can call us 402-436-1990. And we are always happy to talk with you about mentoring, what it looks like, what scheduling looks like. But there's no reason not to mentor. There really is no reason not to mentor. You can always fit it into your schedule.
How much time are we talking about?
We're talking about one visit a week, usually for a class period. So that's anywhere between 30 and 50 minutes.
Sitting at a school.
Sitting at a school, playing games, playing Uno.
School near you.
School near you. That's the thing. You get to pick. If you're a former teacher, maybe you want to go back to a school you were at. Absolutely. Maybe you have someone that you know that works at a school. Let us know. You can kind of pick, or maybe you have one that you can walk to every day. Sure, absolutely. Let us know and we'll get you matched there. It's easy.
If you haven't figured it out, you're sitting there with an unknown superhero's cape with 5 things on it. There are 5 things on it, and you need to activate it. Like, that's the great thing. That's the one thing I know about love, is that action is required. Like, you need to be activated. Now, if you don't know what your 5 things are, survey will help you figure it out. Teammate will help you figure that out. And then it's your job to take those 5 and go help somebody else with their 5. That's really how simple this is.
Yes.
Get off your tail and do something good for the next you, the next version of you, that person of you.
Well,
We asked a question about Coach Tom Osborne. His 5. I think it needs to be said and shared. You did some work. Do we know Coach Osborne's 5?
We do. And here's the thing. He knows his top 5.
How
He
about that?
continues to claim it. He continues to figure out how to aim it to make himself the best version of himself and to make an impact on our community. And I think he's made a little bit of one.
He's done well.
By leading with his strengths.
He's done well.
He's done well.
Yeah.
So he has, do you want to take it away, Angie?
Number 1 is belief. That means so everything that he does has a purpose, has a mission, and is meaningful to him. Achiever. He's a hard worker. There is no doubt about that. And he's got a mission and he's moving toward it. And Teammates is his mission. He also has awesome self-assurance. So he believes in himself. He believes that he's going to accomplish what he puts his mind to. He has relator. So he is connected with people. He has good relationships. He wants to get to know people and cares about them. And then he has responsibility. So he gets done what he says he's going to get done. So his life's mission is the success and the infinity of the Teammates program. So that's what he's doing right now.
That seems pretty simple. That needs to be on a Teammate shirt. That needs to be in every store across the state as soon as possible.
I mean, anyone that's doubting the strength survey or doubting, like, well, is that really making a difference? Does it really point out who I am? Those 5 totally describe Coach Tom Osborne. I mean, it's just amazing that you could probably pick those out of a list for him because he owns them. Those are him.
I'm sharing this thing so you understand. This hour was simply about activating the people listening. and you're sitting on the text line, if you're not a mentor, feel free to email me at the ticket and tell me why you're not. There are no good excuses. There are no good excuses for not being a mentor.
Agreed.
There's not. If you're a part of this community, then help the community activate. There's a younger version of you in a school system somewhere near you who is waiting for somebody to come spend 30 minutes and activate their greatness,
Absolutely.
to witness their greatness, and then to help relocate. Like, that's what this is. I want to say thank you for what you've done tonight. It's been an hour of education, insight, and otherwise. Again, I'm a fan of Teammates Mentoring and what they do and how they do it. I have to keep saying that week from week because I want y'all to understand. In a space where people are choosing to live greater, you're active in it. Bravo to you. Bravo to you both. Ladies, job well done.
Bravo to you too, DP, because you mentor everywhere you go to. So
That's what we're here for. Carter Laundry will take us through the next half hour. Then the post game, Mike Melby will tell us how the Huskers are doing. The news isn't quite what we want currently, but there's about 10 minutes left, and they still have a shot. They're down 14, but they're making a move. They've actually cut the lead, Carter. So we got some stuff going on. Next Wednesday, again, Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday, 6 to 7 p.m. Don't go anywhere. Ticket weeknights, moving strong, forward and up.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again, and with me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to have earned this award, and I want all of our customers to know it's not just earned by one person's efforts. It's the entire dealership, sales, parts, and our amazing service department.
17 times. Wow. How does that compare to other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really do strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 2022, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Gentlemen, Valentine's Day is just around the corner. Don't be that guy running to the store for flowers and a card on your way home. Hey, Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. We have great Valentine's gifts in store now. And if you spend $99, we'll throw in a free bouquet of a dozen roses. Give her what she really wants this year and let us do the rest. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, your hometown jeweler since 1905 in Lincoln and Grand Island. Online at sartorheyman.com.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. We encourage those who go out to make smart decisions behind the wheel or plan accordingly to have someone lined up for a safe ride home. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
Do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go. Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Book your appointment today at nebraskaautodetail.com.